Thank you very much for a warm and welcoming introduction. Dear audience, guests, friends, colleagues, very happy to be part of this event. Thank you to the organizers and thanks to the previous speakers who touched upon very interesting and important topics. And I understand that Friday evening, after 5 o'clock, it's quite challenging to sit after so long day with a lot of information that needs to be processed. This is human being. It's quite challenging now to have the attention for another an hour. And thank you in advance for being passionate for this. And another thing that's not related to Agile or Fintech. Do you know that today is the International Day of the Smile? Do you know? No. So now you have an additional reason to celebrate today, that it's Friday evening, you smile when we finalize the working week, and we have the official, holiday, international holiday, so don't forget to celebrate it at home with your beloved ones. So I did that pause on purpose so that you can admire our team. And this is just a very small part of maib. We are around 2,500 active employees, so that today I want to share with you what does that mean to make the transformation in a financial institution, and not simple financial institution, but a traditional bank, used to be a traditional bank, I need to say that. Because all my colleagues before, it was a lot spoken about the digitalization, digital transformation, and we did that. We are still on our journey, and hope that you'll find interesting and useful lessons, and you'll apply them in your cases. So how do we drive that banking transformation on the Moldovan market? By doing that in our company. If you remember, most of you remember when maib started this communication and sharing that we are going agile. And then it's important to say that going agile was not the purpose itself, actually. So why that question appeared? And I'm sure that all of you know Simon Sinek and the approach of why, what, and how. So we started with why. Because banking used to be different before. And you see that. And you can imagine what kind of customer centricity was there in this kind of the bank, yes, where everything was closed, gray, dark, and what kind of products and services were there. Different needs there were, and different offer it was. And now, when we think today, and going through all the information that you have already heard today about the systems, digitalization, needs of the customers, the services and the new generations that they want to go only digital. So no way to go with the way that banks worked before. That's why we decided to go with the agile transformation. I will be honest and sharing with you some of the skepticism that we've observed and we were reading in different communities charts, and some of the professionals in the fintechs, in the technological companies, they were quite kind of agile in banking. Are you joking? So how can a bank implement agile? And let's see what will be there. So how did we do that? First of all, it is important if you think and if you want to make the transformation and you think to implement different kind of strategies of change and processes, make the changes in the processes, you need to understand, and here I see the owners of the businesses and the owners of the startups, that And you'll agree with me that it's the most important. The first thing it's important is the leaders buy-in, the owners buy-in. So the top leadership understanding, awareness, and commitment to implement this, to make the change, and then the top leadership being the sponsorship of this transformation. It's the first success factor in driving, in ensuring that this transformation will be at the level that it is expected, and then the employees, the teams, they have the trust and they are following the true leaders, who are asking the question to the employees why we're doing that. So to have the leaders buy in and to be part of this transformation. Then we started with the pilots. In May 2022, we had 2 teams. We selected 2 teams that they were the front runners, and the leader of one of the team you've heard today in the morning. It was Sergio Groza, and another leader of the team that was piloting like front runners is somewhere in the room. I can see in the darkness. So. It was the real challenge for the leaders and for the teams to accept and to embark on this journey, because it's for us as human in the change and transformation process, one of the first and the most difficult thing is to trust the uncertainty. And when you run the transformation process, it is a lot of ambiguity and uncertainty. And you can't know what will be happening tomorrow. What is that agile? When a company like maib used to work in a way like 30 years, you can understand that this is such a big comfort, and this is something that people used to live. And then suddenly it's like a storm in the company. And people need to understand why the hell we need that. It was so good we were working and we were living in this way. So why we need to go with these front runners and doing things differently, forming different teams, and I will share a little bit later how. So we ran the pilot with 2 teams, brave, with leaders engaged, who had the full commitment and understanding why we're doing that. So that those leaders, they were leading the teams and being sure that we have the right people answering the questions that appear at the moment. Then we worked a lot on the cultural shift. So on the way, when WoW, we use like the way of working, how we work in the new structure, in the new agile mode. And we worked a lot with people, with elements of the culture, with the behaviors, so that we smooth this transformation in the way that somebody from the speakers before mentioned, that a very big challenge for the banks to make the transformation now is to ensure the change while at the same time to keep doing the processes, serving the customers, and keep that happiness level, and make this, you know, like one of my colleagues used to say that we change the engine of the plane while being on the air. So that was really how it is happening, the agile transformation in maib. So, and then we observed, we made the continuous check, how is it going, this change? What does it work? What doesn't work? We made this change, this transformation with the best company in the world. I can't say the name. At this moment, we can't say the name. But the lessons that we learned, so the methodology is the same, applied in all the countries. But the results need to be adapted to the context of the country, of the company, and the reality. So it doesn't work if you want to copy-paste. You need to be very sensitive to what works, what doesn't work, and why, and improve. So we took the model of the Spotify probably you've heard about the Spotify, the success story. I remember the days that being in a Swedish company, we were discussing a lot about the Spotify success story and in Sweden, and then only now we went to discuss to see why they were so successful. So they applied the model of Agile. So they created the tribes, and these are the big teams of the focused on the business. So we forgot to say that those two orchestras, two teams with whom we went with Agile, these were the people, the teams from business, from retail and from the business banking, from SME. So we created the teams called, in Spotify, called tribes, but we went with the musical theme, so we call them orchestras. And then inside of this big orchestra, focused on the lending products, for example, in retail, we created the small teams called bands, like squads. And yes, so across, and we ensure that in this big team, orchestra, we have small teams that work on the specific products, but on the area that it's dedicated, and they are cross-functionally very close. And then we ensure that we allocate the required competencies, specific competencies in these teams, so that they are autonomous in developing, testing, adapting, documenting the products or services they develop. So we took the structure, we started with the structure. And the thing that we did, we made the reorganization and changed the structure of the entire company. Because you might remember that in a traditional company, bank or not bank, but it was very hierarchical. And you can imagine when you have 2,500 employees, there are many bosses, and then the bosses of the bosses, and then the bosses of the bosses of the bosses, and then people working here. When you want to make a decision, you need to go to all the chain of all the bosses of bosses of bosses, and then go to technology, for example, and then to go to the boss, and then boss, and boss. So the decision, until you take the decision, it's already not relevant, that decision. So we started with the structure. We changed we made the flat organizational structure in the bank, in all the areas, not only business, so that we increase the cooperation, collaboration, and push the people to go to cooperate and find the answers without bosses. So everyone is the boss at his workplace. And that was not easy at all. If you'll ask us, is it perfectly working now? Not yet. Do we have the progress? I'll tell in the end. So we made the flat structure. Then we went with the process, and we ensured that we designed the process and changed the processes so that in this orchestra, the allocated people, they can ensure the end-to-end process. So there we have a lawyer, a risk officer, and business analyst who works with data, and customer experience specialist, being focused on the customer, having the main value customer centricity. We created the Department of Customer Experience, and we ensured that in each orchestra we have the customer experience specialists, so that they can ensure that the customer will get the right product, which will meet the needs of the customer. And the same IT competencies. So talking about people here, it is important to ensure, and we ensure that we have the right competencies and the right people, so that this structure, this unit, can ensure the process end to end with the required people and required competencies and the required authority. And remember now in the experience, then we were at the executive meeting, and Georgi opens the Facebook, and he sees an announcement that a new product was launched. And he says, like, Doina is smiling. Marketing did the promotion. And he said, like, how come how the product went on the market and I didn't know about that? And we said, we are Agile, so this is the authority of the orchestra, and it is their job to develop processes and products and services and to deliver them at the right moment to the market, so time to market. And then we ensure the technology to support these processes as required. So an important thing to mention, it was mentioned several times before today, that the very important thing is the mindset and the culture. And in this regard, we started with that. So we changed the purpose. We ensured, we worked on the creation and coming up with the purpose that really motivates each of the employee and is answering the question, why am I here in the bank working? Why I'm doing my job every day? So our purpose is very simple, so that everyone can remember, every employee, that we create smart and simple financial lifestyle solutions that inspire people to be happier and businesses to thrive, to progress, to prosper. So very simple. We're not anymore even bank. We are a company creating this kind of solutions. And then we decided for ourselves which are the values that we share to achieve this purpose. So, and then after we decided together with the whole company. So we had this the team of 60 people who went through the Stanford program, and we were piloting and brainstorming in that team. And then we invited all the employees to vote on the values. So we ensure that everyone participates on the decision making. And then when you participate, you engage. And if you engage, then you leave them. So then we ensured that we select the people according to these values. So we have in the hiring interviews and in the promotion interviews, we have the special interviews for the cultural fit assessment, whether these people, when we see where we are aligned with our candidates or employees on the values or no. And, you know, we don't make the compromise on the culture. There might be professionals, really highly skilled professionals, but if we're not aligned on the values, sorry, we are on the different ways. So, and then we testing and ensuring that we are motivating and we are encouraging and rewarding the right behaviors, which are role models for the rest of the employees. So this is one of the important things in the transformation process, in ensuring that we are helping and we are supporting and safeguarding the transformation to the right direction. Some words about the right people. So it is important when you select the teams and you assign the leaders. In these orchestras that I have mentioned, we have many leaders. We have the orchestra lead, we have the product owners, we have the product managers. There are core leads that are the managers responsible for the people delegated in each of the teams. So it is important not to confuse and to mix the things and not to go with the decision on the assigning people or managers based on the previous stars achieved in the performance of some projects. So previous stars might not be the right people now to be assigned to drive the change. So you need to be really sure that you assign the people according to the competencies required in that specific development of the product or making the change, and because this is the success. Another success factor, that because people before some of the panelists saying that Don't forget about human, because we are working for people. We are people for people. So in maib, the first things that comes, it's our people, the employees who work for other people, for the customer. So it's important to assign correctly the managers, the people in the right roles. And then, what did we achieve? The level of the satisfaction of the customers is increasing constantly, and we are measuring that with the NPS score, and we see that, and we observe from all the channels, surveys, feedbacks that we collect from the social media, feedbacks that we collect from the branches, the after-service calls, so different tools, and we see and observe these changes. We increase the efficiency. So if before the product development period was like around 9 months, we could give a birth to a child in this period. So now it's around, in average, 3 months. So it's the efficiency in the development of the products and services. We have happier employees. So we started with the employee engagement survey back in 2021. It was 84 points, and now we're 88. And this is a really great engagement score, considering the region, considering the size of the organization, and considering that we went through this transformation. Usually in this period, the engagement of the employees is going down. We managed to keep that up. And we became really a magnet for the talents. So 2 years and a half ago, when I joined maib, I remember that I was like begging candidates to come to a coffee and to discuss about some jobs. And now I'm getting the messages from all the channels on LinkedIn and Facebook. And we have many, many candidates and great people. So last year we hired around 700 new employees of different ages. So it is really working, because the different culture, the different way of working, it becomes interesting for everyone. So this being said, thank you for your patience and for listening actively. If you have any questions, we are here with the team. Wish all of us and you success, prosperity in all the activities, and hope to meet next time and share other success stories. Thank you very much.